Oops. Oh, I was into that. I mean, I don't know.
That's how the show opens.
Okay, Google, keep playing Voodoo People.
What happened here?
Yes. We are
Transition to the other one.
Yeah. Magic people, voodoo people, magic people, voodoo people. Driving Speakerbox. Yeah. Yeah.
I need way bigger pants and way better dance moves if we're gonna keep pumping this.
Okay, Google, stop. I said, okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, stop. Jeez.
Wow.
Google was really into Keith Flint too. Wow. Oh man, guys, welcome to Driving Speakerbox. Oh my gosh. We are here, and man, so many people died. Holy crap. We were just sitting here jamming out to The Prodigy. A lot of people's experience with The Prodigy is with the Fat of the Land album that was banned from Walmart famously. Everybody was like, oh, it says smack my bitch up. Ooh, take my picture, smack my bitch up. And then Firestarter, and it's like, we can Firestarter. You remember that one?
Sound like Rammstein?
But yeah, yes, du hast mich Firestarter.
Yeah,
but Music for a Jilted Generation was my first experience in Prodigy. What a lot of people don't really know about me, if you've only heard from me, can we turn the AC off? Is that something? Is that something we can do? Okay, Google, can you turn the AC off? Is that a thing that happens? But one of the things that a lot of people don't really realize about me is, in the late '90s, early 2000s, I was a big electronic music fan. Back when electronic music really hadn't broken into the U.S. And that's where I got my start DJing. Like The Prodigy was huge to me. The Orbital was huge to me. Orb, Aphex Twin, aka Richard D. James, all those dudes were really influential to me musically. So when the news of Keith passing away today was hit hard, even though he wasn't the brains behind The Prodigy, he was the front man to The Prodigy. He was the guy that everybody had the poster of, that everybody remembered because he was the wicked Firestarter. But Prodigy was actually a group of a lot of different people, and he was just the vocalist for that group. But it was really sad to see him pass today, and that was pretty terrible.
How heavy was your eye makeup, and how many belts did you have on your paintings?
How much shopping did I do at Gadzooks? Is that what you're asking me? I never owned a Dr. Seuss hat personally. I didn't have any vested interest in glow stick companies or backpack producers or pacifier manufacturers.
Did you own any hat from the lineup of Fat Albert?
Hey! Unbelievably, no, I did not. I did not. What's up, Vince? What's up, Tats? We are live here. We're going to be talking about movies, but we're talking about deaths, and that was a musical death, and so we're gonna get past that. We're gonna move on. going to move on into other things. But we're going to talk about movies today. We're going to be talking about what's coming out in theaters this weekend. We're going to be reviewing some films today. What did you see this weekend?
Oh man, I saw the third installment of How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, you again, more instructions on How to Train Your Dragon.
Well, it was either that or the Indian version of 8 Mile called Gully Boy, and I almost went to do that, but sitting through 2.5 hours of Hindi language 8 Mile.
That doesn't sound.
Yeah.
But
no.
speaking of movies with 8 in the title, 8 Seconds, a little bit of news there. The star of 8 Seconds, the man Luke Perry,
How about that?
has also passed.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, 90210 star, Buffy the Vampire Slayer star, 8 Second star, and I guess that's everything that
He's in
everyone
Riverdale.
remembers. He is in yeah, but nobody's gonna.
Do
I mean,
more people watch Riverdale than you think.
I think that more people are sad about a piece of the '90s dying than they are of Luke Perry actually dying.
Do you remember the 90s? Why would you be sad about it?
I mean, I very, very astutely remember the '90s. But the thing about Luke Perry is, I mean, how many people really, really remember everything that he was in?
Was he Buffy's boyfriend?
He was the begrudging boyfriend at the end.
Mm.
That was like, hey, I'm older than you, and I don't give a shit, man. I drive this van, and I'm Luke Perry, and I got this hair, and vampires, what?
Because when I think
And then he
about
fights them.
Buffy, I think about Donald Sutherland.
Oh,
And,
yeah. But he dies like in the first 2 seconds.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. No. Yes, he does. That's why Buffy gets so pissed.
But then Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, he dies in the last movie. Ooh.
Yeah. He has the best death scene ever.
Ooh. And it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, it's like 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, and
long.
Rutger Hauer is the vampire lord in that. But no, Donald Sutherland dies like in the first 5 minutes because Donald Rutger Hauer comes in and is like, "Oh, you've been hunting me so long, Sutherland. You're dead." And then Buffy's like, "No, my master and my trainer."
There wouldn't be any emotional attachment if it was the first 5 minutes.
Well, that's how all good action movies start, with a little bit of revenge, with a little bit of like killing your mentor or your pet or whatever. But anyway, yeah, let's see. Shout outs to Bashan Yates, Long Live Daft Punk. What do have the movies mean about Mom's? Well, yeah.
Gully Boy.
Gully Boy indeed.
Straight up, watch the trailer for Gully Boy. It is 8 Mile.
It is 8 Mile. But anyway, Luke Perry, pouring one out for Luke Perry. He didn't have an enormous body of work, but he was responsible for a lot of just 90s iconicism.
A lot of big guest spots.
He was responsible for a lot of sales at the Buckle. He was responsible for probably Lucky Jeans becoming popular and that hairdo becoming popular. But Luke Perry, he's gone. I don't know if his contribution to the world was any better than the Prodigy's. I would say it's less than. But why go and die, Luke? Why do you got to go and steal the stage, die in the same day as a front man from the Prodigy? Because he's like, this probably be a good day
I don't
to
think
be
that's how it works.
remembered. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if that's how it works, but that's what's going on. But anyway, let's talk about some news. Let's talk about some movies. Pouring one out for old Luke P. Right on the heels of an announced 90210 reunion show with all of the original cast members. And then Luke Perry goes and it's like, not me. Peace out. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going up to the pearly gates. 902. What is the zip code for heaven? Is there a zip code for heaven?
0.
That's the OG zip code. Yeah, they need to do okay, Google, play the theme song to 90210. Will it do it?
All right, here's the album Beverly Hills 90210, the soundtrack on Spotify.
Wait, this is not the theme song to 90210, is it? Next track. Okay, Google, next. Next song. Okay, Google, play the theme.
Dude, anyone who's watching this, they're
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, well then stop playing. Anyway, I mean it's like do 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 do. Is that how it goes, or is that Doug?
that's a way better TV show before Disney got their
And I
hands
heard
on
they're
it.
doing a live action Doug. Also
Okay.
talk about the
All
90s.
right, I'm done. Unacceptable.
And a Nicktoon movie. The Nicktoons movie is still in development.
How are you gonna make Roger or Mr. Dink or Skeeter or any of that in live action?
I don't know. Skeeter. You can't. He's blue. He's totally blue.
Yeah, Roger's green and Mr. Dink is purple. And
Speaking of 90s things, speaking of more 90s things that are actually coming to fruition and getting planned, did you hear about this? This is not necessarily film news, but it is film related. The Sandlot is getting a sequel series
they already did that.
starring the original cast.
Mm.
And I think that's a terrible idea. Who gives a shit about a bunch of kids that played like baseball? As kids. As kids. I mean, watching them as kids do it, oh man, it was a great experience. It captured childhood. It really made us feel, it got us in the feels. But I don't want to know what what all those dudes are doing now. I don't want to see their versions of themselves 40 years from whatever time period that
you already know what happens, man.
Because I mean, what was that movie set in? Was it set in the 90s or was it set earlier? I feel like it was set in the
earlier.
60s. Yeah, it was set in the 60s.
And you have Benny the Jet, and he grows up to be a Dodger, and he's amazing. And
Right.
then the main character becomes the announcer for the Dodgers, I guess.
Right.
Or a radio guy or
But
whatever.
who cares what Smalls does? You know?
Smalls was the announcer for the games.
I know, but who cares?
That makes him Vin Scully or whatever, man.
But do we need to see a series about it? Like, well, today at the stadium, I announced the advertising sponsorship between Phillips Insurance and Ballpark Franks.
Dude,
like
the voice of the Dodgers is a big deal.
But do you want to watch?
Ask Tats. Ask Tats about this.
Tats, is this a big deal? Would you watch a Sandlot show? Would you watch a show about old dudes that played baseball as kids that are now adults that like baseball? We got Tats.
Yeah, but you're like our liaison currently.
Sports. I don't know about sports.
What about the great Hambino? Don't you want to know what happens?
No, because it would stop being great. That's the thing about movie magic is we don't need to know all the details. We don't need to know all the stories. We don't need to know what happens next. Our imaginations are what fuel the movie experience.
What if instead of the live action movie, which will be a terrible idea, they make a official comic book sequel?
No, I think that's just as bad. I think that's worse.
Wow. Well,
would it be a comic book or would it be a graphic novel?
Same thing. Fight me.
Yeah, change my mind. I don't know. All this 90s nostalgia. I don't know how I feel about it. But anyway, that's news. I don't know if you guys heard about that one. But also in the news, did you hear about Will Smith turning down the role in Suicide Squad 2 for the upcoming sequel? He's like, nah, I'm out. I'm not gonna do it. I'm peace outing. Peace outing.
That's just as fine.
I mean, I'm okay with it too. I think I don't think it's going to be a good thing. I mean, think about Suicide Squad 2. Think about all these things. And also in the news, Marvel Comics, announcing that they want to go full on Kirby and open up the world to the Eternals and other obscuro Marvel heroes.
It's dumb.
Well, and that's where I'm kind of going with the Suicide Squad 2 thing is that they're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it sticks. And I think that this is a dangerous slope that we are sitting on where people are just going, hey man, people are paying for Marvel movies. Let's just make them all. Let's just make all of them. We've got all the money that we need. Let's just make Eternals. Let's make Dark Phoenix. Let's make Shazam. Let's make Suicide Squad. Let's make Howard the Duck cartoons. Let's make
there's DC movies being thrown in there. right now.
I know. Well, it's comic books. All comic books.
Well, they already blew their chances with having Punisher movies again.
But they're doing the show. They did 2 seasons
no,
of the show.
And it's gone.
No, it's not gone. It's too good to be gone. I mean, it's actually shut up. I know, I admit it. But everybody's saying, no. We go back to the time when the Wolverine movie, Wolverine Origins got leaked. We reference this all the time. And they go, no, internet, I know what you're saying, and I know what you're thinking, and you're wrong. So please go to the theaters, and please get ready to continue to spend your money, because it's not what you think. It's going to be totally different than what you think. Speculation. And then it turns out to be exactly what we think, with like tiny minor alterations. And see, this is what I think is happening with the Punisher and, the whole Defenders situation, is that, Disney is pulling all this stuff. Netflix doesn't want to admit that Disney is strong-arming them into building this new, taking all that good content and building this new network that Disney is going to build, because streaming is the future. Let's get real. We'll talk about the Spielberg thing in a minute. But, the problem here is that they want to keep it a secret. That's Hollywood. I mean, trust me, as many NDAs as I've signed in my life, I know how the game works, and they don't want you to know what they're doing, because they want it to be a surprise every time. Because they know that they want to control the anticipation. They want to control the hype machine. They want the leak photos to be the photos that they leak. They want the trailer energy to be the trailers that they release, so that they can forecast, predict, and make that money. That's what it is, make money. They're making the money. And so when they lose control of that, all their figures and all their analysts and all their accountants, the books get out of whack. So when they say, no, it's not happening, and when they can leak it, that's when they can start measuring their metric data. And
but
it's going to happen. We're going to get it. We're going to get Punisher on the Disney streaming service.
Yeah, but the gap in wait time is going to ruin it.
No, because that's manufactured. They're going to go, no, believe that it's gone, so that when we resurrect it, you'll be that much more excited about it.
That doesn't work.
It's like throwing us into the desert. We're never going to have water again. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I wish that they'd never canceled it. Oh, golly. And then you see the water finally, the oasis that everybody knew was there, but you didn't. And you're like, oh, that's going to be the most delicious water I've ever had. I'm getting that water. But see, what's happening.
It doesn't always work.
It doesn't always, but it does most of the time, because what is happening here?
Because sometimes when you go vegan and then you eat a hamburger later on because it sounds so good, you shit your pants because
you shit your pants. But when you're eating that hamburger, you're like, God damn it, bacon, and you get a little wrapped, just a little bit, or a little moist, or whatever your gender does.
What are you talking about right now?
And I'm talking about bacon. I'm talking about eating bacon.
Oh,
we all know what it's about. Is anybody out there on chat? Is any?
Was the last comment.
Chat difficulties. Do I need to How do I do that? How do I refresh chat? We're gonna go over to. We're gonna go to the browser window, or hang on. We're gonna look at something. I'm gonna look at Disney metrics. I'm gonna look at Twitch on chat. I'm gonna look at Disney stock price. That's what we're gonna do.
Hey Google, play the 90210 theme song.
No, and we already tried that.
I looked for the map to another theme, but it either isn't available or can't be played right now.
Yeah, see, saw it. So look, all right, this is the Walt Disney Company stock. It is up right now, $114 a share. I mean, that is some significant stuff. But every time that they make an announcement, this is something that you guys need to realize about how entertainment business works. And going back to, the vegan analogy, that was pretty cool. But the thing that you don't see is that, when let's take Game of Thrones, for example. So Game of Thrones, we know that another season's coming. We know that we're expecting it. We're looking forward to it, and we are awaiting it with bated breath. And the longer that it takes for us to engage in the wait time versus delivery time, the longer we get angry and more, needy and picky about what the content should be. And so if
I need that Game of Thrones.
we do, and we're going to get it. But here's the deal, is Disney doesn't know how long the streaming service is going to take. Disney doesn't know how long these deliverables are going to take to get. And so if they get people going, oh, well, next season should be delivered by next year, They want to break all of this stuff. They want to shatter any sort of expectations we have, because then they don't have to meet those expectations. And so when they say, "All right, it's canceled, it's canceled, but we're going to be continuing to play with the storylines in the future," that gives them a completely open slate of time frame for these deliverables. It's like, okay, well, we don't have a hard 1 year. We don't have a hard next season. We could just sit on this, think about it, and deliver it when we deliver it, because when we announce, oh, we're bringing it back, then we've become the heroes instead of the evil villains. It's easier to give things back than it is to take them away. Does that make sense? So right now, Netflix is the bad guy and Disney will be the savior, and that is by design.
Okay, but that doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't always work, but it works most of the time.
Does it?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like Star Wars, where everyone's like, "Yo, give me more of that," and they say, "Well, sit tight for the next 26 years or whatever, and then we'll give you crap." Well, and then you'll say that you like it because.
But we still went in there. We still went and had $1 million, gave them billions of dollars for crap. Mm-hmm. And because we all were like, "Yeah, here it comes. That's what we needed," and then we got it. So is the chat not scrolling? Is that the problem? No. Well, let me pull up another chart. Let's pull up some other news really quick. Let's talk about. Let's find a good meme to talk about. There were so many things that I had to talk about. But here we go. We you know what we didn't do? We didn't set up the 2 camera. Oh man.
Yeah,
next time.
Check this out. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1.
That was the idea.
Camera 2.
That was the idea. All right, so we're just going to go over to Google Image Search, and we're going to talk a little bit here for just a minute. So bear with me while we get these technical difficulties figured out. But boop, coming over here. So all right, what we've got here is Steven Spielberg. We're going to talk about old Spielby.
Spielby.
Old Spielby. So
hold on. How come only one of these pictures has Hook in it?
Because these are made by millennials. If you'll look at the uneducated URLs, we've got BuzzFeed.com, Goliath.com, UltimateMovieRankings.com, ThePlaylist.net, ExpressCO.uk, EW.com. All of these are run by people in their 20s who don't know shit about fuck. And these people, like, this is another thing that I try to get you guys to realize about the Drive-In Speakerbox is we are guys that have dedicated a large portion of our lives, oftentimes unintentionally, to Hook and or the study and appreciation of films. And you know, the 22-year-old intern that is meeting a deadline to write something for BuzzFeed, that person has not spent 20 to 30 to 40 years of their life sitting here watching these films. They go, "Oh, got a deadline, Wikipedia, right-click Hook, right-click E.T., top Spielberg movies. I haven't seen 8 of these, and I don't have 3,700 million hours to watch all of them. I'm going to watch the trailer. I'm going to read this opinion article, and then send to publisher, get the clicks. Those people fucking suck, and they don't know what they're talking about." And you know, this is something that's happening in the world of film reviewing and the film. The scroll's not working, is it? Man, we are not. The chat is just not working. That's weird. I don't know. Auto scroll. I'm clicking preview, lock preview, enable preview, scrolling, windowed ad copy, color transform, scale filtering. Look at all these things. I wish you could see all these options that we've got. But I'm just gonna let Chin from Tats here just jump in. You just get in here. Just get in. He's right here. Check him out. He's our man on the street. 2 Asians talking sports right here. But no, what we're wanting to talk about is Spielberg. You've seen it in the news. everybody is all about, and this actually ties in really well to our show last week about separating the art from the artist. A lot of the trend right now is to bash Steven Spielberg for his sort of like poo-pooing on Netflix films or films made for streaming media being nominated for Academy Awards. And there are two sides to this argument. There is a new generation of people saying like, oh no, absolutely, it should be nominated because we like this movie, therefore it should be nominated. But you're also retrofitting a system of a metric system that has been in place for far longer than you or your parents have probably been alive. And that's not going to happen overnight. That's not going to happen because you tweeted about it. There are things, just like when Napster hit the scene and changed music as we know it, streaming movies, streaming content are also changing the way we view movies and the way we create movies, especially right now as theatrical ticket sales are at an all-time low, but they are on the upswing. They are on the upswing. AMC just recently released their earnings report, and it's doing very well, which is good for my stocks that I own in AMC. But the problem that we have here is that, guys like Steven Spielberg and old guard movie directors, there are things that are both artistically and philosophically ingrained into their sort of movie making DNA that it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to find a good analogy for it, but you can't get mad at him for feeling the way he does, because this guy has, really defined cinema for, I don't know, not just one, but a couple of generations of moviegoers. Yeah, I think if you just make it all the way big.
We let him get away with a lot because of that too. He ruins quite a bit of things or puts his name on something that's terrible. And then you're like, oh, Spielberg, yeah, because Jaws and Hook and E.T. and
Schindler's List.
Just 100 things.
All of them. But as Dina said, they're still following the rules that the Academy has in place. This is true. They did premiere the movie in theaters and it's streaming at the same time, which is slightly different because a lot of directors and filmmakers have I think it's like a 90-day from screen to home viewing rule, and so we're navigating new waters. And so at a certain part of me is I can be upset with Spielberg, and I can be like, dude, get with the times. You got to adapt. You got to evolve. But then at the same time, I can say, well, hey, everybody else, slow your roll. Let's figure this out. How about we fucking get rid of the Academy Awards? Can we just do that? Please? Please. Can we sorry for your ears, but can we get rid of this? Because think about it. It's the thing that's causing all the problems is the awards. It's the grandizing, like it's telling you what art is better than other art. And that is the problem. That is the problem is we are pedestalizing certain things over other certain things, and that's never a winning solution. Ever. Especially when we grow into a time where everyone feels like they're the winner. That was the cool thing about living in the 1920s is if you hammered that nail down, they were like, well, I guess that's the ticket that life gave me. But now that we live in 2019, everyone's the president of the universe. And everyone deserves an Oscar, and everyone deserves a medal and a trophy and a book it personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. Everybody deserves those things now. And so when we live in that world, which, I mean, for good or for bad, it has its ups, it has its downs. Everybody can't win an Academy Award. Now we're trying to. And everyone's getting mad when they don't win or are not considered because of archaic, stupid-ass rules that were written when Gone with the Wind was new. And then we're wondering why it doesn't fit. Like, get rid of it. Get rid of it. That's how we fix it. We can't overnight retrofit this awards thing and expect everybody to be happy, because you're going to piss off somebody that's been following the rules for 40 years. And then this one person that comes in and goes, but I made something that people like. And then they'll go, well, yeah, well, fuck off, buddy. I've been doing it the hard way forever. And now you're telling me that I can just come up in here and do whatever I want, and then everybody's going to pat me on the fucking back? No, you have to understand where he's coming from. He had to come through all the hard shit and came up on top. And now somebody's coming up to this dude who built this castle. Everyone's like, oh, he's just a white, privileged, rich guy. How do you think he got rich? You ever thought about that? Jaws. You know? I mean, this guy got rich because he pushed the envelope. He didn't come up to his first movie that he wanted to make and go, can I have a bajillion-dollar budget? And they go, yeah, sure, you're fucking white and successful. Here's $1 million. No, he was doing things that everybody thought were stupid, and he was pushing boundaries, and he was breaking rules, and he broke rules enough to where he set the rules. And now the rules need to be broken again, and it's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be easy, and we all have to kind of figure out how that's going to work. Instead of like pulling knives on each other, we got to go, okay, things are changing. How do we all change with them? Instead of just burning him at the stake because he said you something that you didn't like. You know, people say things that people don't like all the time. And if we killed each other over it when we were back in the Middle Ages, you know, and...
Well, Dina said something about how he had said that in a casual interview. Casual interviews what ruin people's lives now.
Yeah, there's no such thing as casual anything anymore. Like, you and I could be having lunch, and if anyone actually gave a shit about our opinions, you know, some of the things that we say at lunch, you know, people be like, oh, well, you know, fire them from their jobs, hit them with a car, and send them to hell. It's like, well, you and you that are listening to this podcast right now, I bet there's 10 people out there that nobody knows who you are. No one gives a shit about your opinion. But if we followed you to a casual dinner with your friends, then, you know, everybody would hate you because people are awful. No, what's good?
Sam.
Reverse.
They should
merge the Oscars with the AVNs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Well, Sasha Grey tried to be an actor for 2 movies, and that did not pan out for her. So she just disappeared from the world.
Did you say Sasha Grey?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what pans out for her?
Nothing. I don't know.
No,
She's not in the public eye
Was that a
anymore.
Soderbergh movie that she was in?
She was in 2 or 3 movies.
It was the Real Girl or
Girlfriend Project.
Girlfriend Project. That's what it was.
And then there was another movie.
Yeah, she tried to break it in big, but then she just, I guess, went back to big breaking in. I don't know.
Also, I like that Sam's like, oh, they should merge the Oscars and AVNs, and the very next comments from Tats.
Push me down. So, you know, the thing with Spielberg is, guys, you just have to, the takeaway is we need patience, we need understanding, and we need to figure out going forward how this is going to change, because movies are changing. They are really, really changing.
Dude, but can I say something on that? I don't care about Spielberg.
I mean, he's a good movie maker.
Since when?
Since, like,
when's the last time?
Oh, well, when's the last time Hulk Hogan did anything cool?
A few weeks ago when
No.
he came out for Mean Gene's obituary.
No, you're wrong. Because
What do you mean wrong?
But my point is, it's all speculative. It's all based on what you like personally. You
No,
know.
I mean, that was well respected by everyone that likes wrestling. Came out.
Oh, that's like onions taste good to everybody that likes onions. But you know what? Onions taste like shit. And so, you know, that's the point. Is everything is speculative
Well, Hulk
based on
Hogan
people.
hasn't done a movie since 3 Ninjas?
Yeah, but he did 3 Ninjas, and he also did Suburban Commando.
Mhm.
So because he did that shit, should we measure him for that shit that he's done now? Or should we can discredit him forever because Suburban Commando, my guy.
Suburban Commando rules.
No, Suburban Commando only rules because you like Hulk Hogan.
Dude, no, it has The Undertaker and it has Doc Brown himself. What else is in Suburban Commando? Everything Awesome?
No, not everything else.
What about Mr. Nanny?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. What about Mr. Nanny? Exactly. I'm just saying that, you know, you're right. Spielberg may or may not be directing the best films in the universe. I mean, Ready Player One wasn't that great. BFG.
I was just talking to someone about that earlier today. And yeah, Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 6. Anytime someone asks me what the first match I'd show someone that doesn't like wrestling is or to get them into it, main event of WrestleMania 6, title for title, man.
Was Iron Sheik in there?
No, dude.
I mean, I didn't watch WrestleMania 6.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Main event. It's Ultimate Warrior vs. Hulk Hogan, title for title.
Was Zeus ever a real wrestler, or was he only in
Yes.
No Holds Barred?
He was a real wrestler.
And he was also in Friday as Zebo.
Mm-hmm.
Or Debo.
Yeah, Debo.
Yeah, Debo. He got knocked the F out. Fugg. F-U-G-G, I believe, is what he got knocked out. Anyway, my point is, again, going back, separate the art from the artist. We have to, we're all into this, oh, the wiener, the hot dog is back.
First words you say for that.
The wiener. Spielberg, greater than Avatar, and lame Cameron's filmography.
Wow. Okay. All right, Raymond, calm down over there because James Cameron has done amazing things.
But he's also done not amazing things.
Okay, but think about this. T2 is way more amazing than
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, for sure.
Wrong. JP, King Ding-a-ling, like all day.
Dude, what if Terminator showed up? Dinosaurs couldn't handle a Terminator.
I'm pretty sure dinosaurs would have stomped that fucker. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, are we talking
Like-
T1000 or T800?
I'm talking about the Arnie Terminator with like a minigun and a grenade launcher.
But, okay, what if it was just Arnie? Because you can't. I mean, where's is he traveling back with the minigun and the grenade launcher? And I mean, there's a lot more dinosaurs than he's got grenades.
Yeah, but he would procure a weapon somewhere.
What, like from Oog and Angong, like get a big bone hammer? Like, what is that gonna?
Jurassic Park took place now.
No, but you said if he was going back to fight dinosaurs. Like, I thought you meant like in the Jurassic period.
Oh, dude.
Are you
Jurassic World timeline.
But what about the weaponized one from? Nah, Jurassic World doesn't count. I'm not gonna. That's not canon. That's not canon.
I'm just saying, as soon as that dude's like, "Oh, clever girl," he gets murked. In steps Terminator, all like naked from the biosphere, grabs that gun, starts murking dinos.
Yeah, Conan.
And he has like crazy infrared vision. Dinosaurs don't stand a chance.
We got James Cameron, the film equivalent high budget soap opera sweep stunt. Whoa! Oh, shots fired! All sizzle, no steak.
Wow, have you ever seen The Abyss?
Yeah, The Abyss is tight.
The Abyss is very good, and there's a lot of character building, and it's a deep, meaningful movie.
And it's deep in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In The Abyss, even.
One might say. Well, anyway, the point is, all of this is subjective, man. It's all just what we think. You know, I mean, stuff that we think's right. We can stylistically tell you why things are good or bad, or why things hit or don't hit, but we can't tell you that you're not gonna like it. Like Fast and the Furious, for example, pile of trash.
Whoa, they're going too far, man.
My point exactly. You know. But you know,
7 of the top 10 movies to ever make money ever. All of them were made of turds. You can't do that, man.
I think we killed one of our audience members.
Plus, it made Luda like a big deal, man.
I mean, Lou was already a big deal. That's why he was in that movie.
It's kind of true.
You think so?
Anyway, so that's the news. Let's talk about movies that are coming out in theaters this week, because that's what we got to do. We got to give you some updates on what's happening, because I think we killed Raymond. Oh boy. All right. So coming out this week, let's talk about movies that are coming out this week. Oh, and yes, to Sam, you're right. Terminator 2, thumb gif. It was one of the greatest gifs. But anyway, coming out this week, there's only one big ass movie that's really happening. Everything else is going to be kind of in limited release, because
Which is why we had nothing this last weekend.
Yeah, they gotta make room. They gotta spread it out, make everything comfortable for Captain Marvel. Here comes Marvel swinging its big vagina around on us, and we gotta just let it happen. Gotta let it wash it over us.
Ew.
And there's no turning back. Guess what? If you want to go to the theater this weekend, fuck you. You're only gonna see Captain Marvel in theaters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the Lego Movie in theater 10.
Did you just say that you have to let the big swinging vagina of Marvel wash over you?
That's what I said. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna stop with that metaphor before it gets real weird. But yeah, so we got Brie Larson coming in. Yeah. Oh, God. Bringing it in the smegma zone. Thanks, Taz. But Captain, it's happening. More Marvel. This is the missing glue between, oh my gosh, what happens from Avengers Infinity War to Avengers Endgame? Is everyone dying? What's going to happen? Is Thanos going to win? No, he's not going to fucking win.
I don't think this is going to take place in that. All the trailers show that it's a lead up.
It's a lead up to her involvement in Endgame. Which I think it is, because this movie takes place in, guess what? Everybody's favorite time, the 90s.
Yeah, Sam, whenever I think Captain Marvel, I think of Shazam too, but there was that big lawsuit where DC changed his name to Shazam instead of Captain Marvel, as it always was and intended to be before Marvel stepped in and was like, oh, but our name is Marvel, so...
Our
this
name is a verb that apparently we're going to own forever now.
Well, and this Captain Marvel was always Miss Marvel forever. She was always Miss Marvel, where Rogue got her powers and she had like her own thing going on, and they're like, but what if we called her Captain to drop the miss?
Why hasn't Rogue killed her yet? Are we going to see her die at Rogue's hands? Because that's what let's kill her.
No.
Damn it.
But they're also making the Skrull her bad guys and the Skrull invasion a part of her thing instead of Secret Invasion and
Secret Wars.
No, Secret Invasion.
Oh, well, Secret Wars, weren't the Skrull really involved in Secret Wars?
I don't think so.
No, that was somebody else. Anyway, Dina, you bought IMAX tickets to a Marvel movie. I thought you were better than that.
Don't take this away from me. You immediately are trying to take it.
I'm gonna take it away from you. I'm just gonna snatch it and stomp it. Because it's Marvel. I am not. You can't get me excited about a Marvel movie. I'm burnt out.
You know what's gonna be better than this Captain Marvel?
Shazam.
The real Captain Marvel, Shazam.
Are you looking forward to?
Dude, every time I see a trailer for it, I get more hyped.
I don't.
Dude, I like that it's kind of cartoony, and I like that it's like Billy Batson being a jerk.
I don't. I'm just not excited. I can't. All these comic book movies, I just can't get excited about them. There's just too much. And yeah, I'm with you. DC live action. I gave up,
dude. But I'm thinking this one's gonna be better.
I give up on Marvel. I give up on comic book live action.
Listen,
I don't want to see it anymore.
Even though Aquaman burned me really bad because it was like, yo, I can't believe you've been waiting years for this Aquaman movie. Have some Uncharted 2. And I'm like, oh, I remember Uncharted 2 from PlayStation 3 10 years ago. Thanks. And then, but now Captain Marvel's going to be good. I mean, Shazam's going to be good.
In the shows, are you talking the CW shows or are you talking the animated stuff? Because the animated stuff I can get behind. I can still get behind animated comic book stuff. But the live action,
everyone has a man crush on Jason Momoa, bro. Have you never seen the Conan movie? Do you not know about Khal Drogo, dog?
I saw the Conan movie. That would not be where I'd take that first reference.
Okay, well, you know what? Unlike everyone else, I've read some Robert E. Howard books and comics, and I've played Age of Conan online, and I'm really into Conan stuff.
Yeah, it's more sword and sorcery than the original John Milius film ever led on to be. But I feel that Milius made some good decisions on bringing it down to earth and making it a little more relatable. Yeah, because that new Conan was just like
good.
Nah, yo, but he did okay. Yeah, mad props. He did get up on that Lisa Bonet though, and that's tight. That's mad props to Momoa for landing that one, unobtainium right there. And
I still don't know why everyone hates on that newer Conan movie. I think it's sick.
I guess I'm gonna have to revisit it because I saw that in theaters because I was like amped because I was waiting for King Conan for years.
Oh, have you seen that there's new Conan went back to Marvel comic books from Dark Horse. Conan went from Marvel to Dark Horse. Now it's back with Marvel, and the cover for it is a Conan the King, and Arnold has like a whole video with him reading it, and he's giving away signed copies.
I did see that. I did see the signed copies thing, and that's tight.
And he made mention that there might be...
Well, because the original plan was Vin Diesel was going to play like the son of Conan and King. It was going to be called King Conan and,
No.
and Arnold. That was like this. I'm talking like this is 2001 news,
Like
here,
Triple X.
because
like,
I've been in this game for a long time. I remember this news. I followed this news, and it never came to fruition. And that's when the Momoa thing happened, and that was big news. And then it happened, and everybody was like, "That wasn't very good."
yeah, except for me. I was like, that was sick.
You get to hold the hot dog now.
Sweet.
Anyway, all right. Well, Captain Marvel. That's what's coming out in theaters this week. I mean, that's really the only choice. That's all you got. That's it. That's all.
Well.
It's the only one. So let's review some movies. You want to review some movies that were in theaters?
Yeah, man.
You go first because I've been talking.
All right.
What'd you see?
I saw How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Hidden.
Man, you
Is
know
that
what?
the one with girl dragons?
Yeah, yeah. So in the first movie, it was like, oh, Vikings hate dragons, so they have to kill them. And the one kid is like, but what if dragons are kind of dope though? And then changed everyone's mind about them.
Change the world. But much like the Academy Awards, it wasn't easy. There was old people who didn't want to change their minds.
Yeah, Gerard Butler wanted to murk them real bad.
People died and people
Mhm.
disagreed, but then eventually they came to a mutual understanding
Yeah.
and worked together with the dragons.
And then the second one, it turns out that everyone else is hunting down dragons already anyhow. And then they find his mom, and then Toothless, the main character's main dragon, becomes leader of all dragons, despite the fact that he's one of the smallest ones.
Because he's got lightning.
Yeah, because underdog stories or whatever.
Yeah.
And in this one, it was pretty much the second movie all over again, except instead of his mom, it was a girlfriend for the dragon. The same hidden world from the second one. Nothing new or special about this hidden world that you see for 5 seconds. And man, it was kind of like a lifeless movie just tossed out there to wrap it up.
Toothless and lifeless.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like they just wanted to write dragons off so they didn't have to mess with it anymore.
No.
Honestly,
did they tie it up? Is it a done thing?
it's tied up. It's done. It's just a wrap up of the story. Everything's really quick. Anything you wanted to get from it is skipped over. Any depth or story you were hoping to have or meaningful villain, not
All
there.
gone.
Yeah, but instead they spend 5 to 10 minutes explaining the town that you've seen through 2 movies and 2 TV series and countless toys or whatever. No explanation needed, but they provide it to you anyhow. And then the rest of the time is montages of dragons dating or dancing. And
Wait, dragon dating?
yeah, that's the whole movie, man.
Well, I guess as fans of the original film start to grow up and start to have curious thoughts about parts of them that are growing and changing, and they're looking at the opposite sex in a different way.
No, it doesn't help you with any of that. You don't get. That's what I'm saying. There was nothing to this movie.
There wasn't like little boy dragons and little girl dragons like talking about how eggs are made.
No, it didn't get into like the whole like Lion King Nala licking on Simba or anything like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It was. I mean, it was kind of just a little disappointing end to the series, where the first 2 kind of brought in their emotional impacts and caught you off guard, and made you feel feels and get involved in it. This one was just fast forward to the end, trying to get it done and out of here.
Well, Sam suggests that next time you go see a children's movie, you should totally wear a trench coat and shorts by yourself.
Not gonna do
When
that.
you go.
I did not go by myself.
Ooh. Did you take a small child with you?
No, but you know what? I did go to the 7 o'clock or the 6 o'clock instead of the 10. And there are reasons I go to the late shows.
Yeah, so you don't have to deal with all those
So I don't have to deal with
booker factories.
Yeah, children screaming through the entire movie.
Yeah, awful. Well, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World in theaters right now. You can check that out if you wanna.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say more about it, but if you've seen the second movie, you've seen this one, and that's a bummer.
Yeah. You can check it out. It's still same original voice talent.
Everyone except for T.J. Miller makes a return. You get Gerard Butler's back. You have America Ferrera and Jay Baruchel. You got Jonah Hill and Kit Harington.
I
You got-
forgot Kit Harington was in
Yeah,
there.
you got Craig Ferguson, which Craig Ferguson's really, he's the best. So,
Everybody likes Craig Ferguson.
oh yeah. So I mean, you have a lot of talented voice acting, and T.J. Miller did not make his return for reasons for him throwing fits and getting kicked off shows and losing his sponsored deals with like Mucinex and everything he did to ruin his career. So
Well, there you go. You can check it out. It's in theaters right now. Movie that I'm going to talk about is not as in wide release. It did get a wider release than I thought because Focus Pictures picked it up, but it didn't have a really big advertising campaign about it. This is about 2,000 theaters nationwide, and it is the new film from director Neil Jordan called Greta. And Neil Jordan, a guy that, in my opinion, kind of fell from grace, although directing two of some of my favorite horror movies of all time. We're talking In the Company of Wolves from 1984, and then of course the 1994 classic Interview with a Vampire, one of my favorite vampire films basically ever made. But Neil Jordan hasn't really done a whole lot throughout the years, but he came back for I guess 2012 was the last. What
is Raven talking?
I can't hear him over there. But in 2012 was his last kind of feature-length film that he did, was Byzantium. But he returned to see you, Sam. Thanks for tuning in, man. He returned to horror, actually, and to feature films with the film called Greta. And Greta actually it hit the film festival circuit in 2008, but got a theatrical release this year. So technically a 2018 film, but released this year. Or this week in theaters, but it stars none other than the girl whose name I can never pronounce.
Chloe Moretz.
Yeah, Grace Moretz. Is it Moretz or is it Mortez? But anyway, Moretz. And then Isabella Hooper. She's in this as well, playing the titular Greta. And this movie is it kind of follows almost a paint by numbers sort of suspense abduction thriller. But in a okay, and this is gonna be weird for me, and this is gonna be a little bit revealing as well, because I don't know if this movie is gonna affect everybody the way it affected me, because I'm really scared of elderly women. I just have full disclosure, old ladies creep me out. They're scary. They're frightening. I don't want to give them sugar, and I don't want to be trapped in their houses and with all their creepy porcelain and spoons on the wall and pictures of old dead people and black and white things and quilts that smell and doilies that are yellow, and I just don't
You're
like it.
in a kids movie where you're looking up and it like the camera zooms.
Yeah,
in,
and their
face,
lip is like hairy, and yeah, it's like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey where they're in hell, and then Bill S. Preston Esquire's grandma is like chasing them around. I'm that lady, or I'm that guy. I'm Bill S. Preston. I don't like it. It freaks me out. And like nursing homes.
Ted Theodore Logan.
And when I was a kid, I don't know, I just maybe had some traumatizing experiences in nursing homes, and where like these clinging to life corpses are like clawing out at you to come and visit them because they've been neglected by their own families, and they're trying to like grab at your youth to like pull it into their own bodies and assimilate your power. Like old people, like really old ladies, freak me out. Like I'm serious. It is a thing. No, well, and here Dina says Drag Me to Hell must have been a real nightmare for you. No, because they have supernatural powers. Witches are different because that's a form that they choose. And they choose that to be scary because they know that old ladies are scary. So if it's like a witch, something with supernatural powers, something like that, no, it's not, it's fine. It's just a creepy old witch. But a true, just like old ass lady that's spry and still sharp and can, manipulate and use her elderliness to their own advantage is terrifying. And this movie is terrifying. This movie is about this elderly woman, Greta, who lives alone in New York City. And Chloe Moretz has just moved to New York from Boston, which I thought was kind of a far stretch because she's like this gullible girl moving to the city, and her roommate's like, the city's going to eat you up. And she's acting like she's all,
she's from the next city.
Where I come from, people are friendly. And I was like, bitch, you from Boston. Like, no, everyone there is also stupid and mean and angry and and racist and from big city trappings. But anyway, so she's this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young person new to New York, and she finds this bag on the subway. And
Is that what Greta? The old bag.
Well, no. Here's the it's Greta, but so this bag, and it gets right to the point, like real fast, which was kind of surprising for me because usually these sort of home invasion abduction movies, they take time to gestate because you know that they're going to get captured, and you're like, well, how long is it going to take to where we're revealed to the main character that this person's bad, and it just immediately jumps into it. So the main character, Chloe Moretz, she finds this bag on the subway, and she returns this bag. It's like has an ID. She finds the address and she goes, "Oh, ma'am, I think you lost this bag." And then they quickly become friends because Chloe's mother had died, and so she was just kind of connecting with this parental-like older woman figure. But then in a dinner meeting, she opens up a cabinet and sees a whole bunch of other bags, exactly like the bag that she found that had like names and numbers attached to the back of them. And she's like, oh my God, she's been planting these things around town and like trying to get people to come and visit. And then it just takes this insanely nefarious turn towards abduction and like Mommy Dearest vibes. I don't know if you've ever seen Mommy Dearest, but that shit's psycho. But it's very this like authoritarian matriarch sort of punishy, like, yeah, it's super creepy and super just frightening. And it is a fun experiment in suspense building. And I think that Neil Jordan was the only person that really could have pulled off such a subtle storyline to make it so suspenseful and so creepy to where you're just kind of squirming at every moment. And yeah, no wire hangers.
No more
Wire hangers. But much like Mommy Dearest, you have this moment where, you know, what looks like a non-threatening female parental figure can instantly turn into something menacing and terrifying. And that's what this movie does. And I think Neil Jordan did it pretty well. And, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but if you want something that's not like a big box office laser fest, which you're going to get with Captain Marvel or the next handful of weekends coming out, this is actually a nice kind of weird, slow burn, creepy, like, you know, the thing about movies like this this one's a little bit different. It's not so much when are they going to figure out that she's bad? It's like, when are they going to stop her? You know, you're waiting for her to get thwarted instead of waiting for this like actualization of everyone to realize she's bad. Everybody immediately like, yo, this be crazy. And so you watch this journey of them trying to, you know, stop her nefarious plan. And I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, but scared of old ladies, so it might have hit me a little close to home.
Terrified of strawberry candies and butterscotches.
Dude, those strawberry candies, they're poison, all of them. All of them, especially the unwrapped ones that are really sticky into that glass. Why do they keep them in that glass bowl? That's not airtight. Like, you know, the glass dish that has the lid and it's got the strawberry candies and some Werther's Originals that are probably older than you are. And they're sitting on the table next to like one of those photo cubes, you know, that they sold only in like 1983. And it's like got like an old washed out Polaroid of like Italy that you're like, none of my family ever went to Italy. Who did they steal this from? And it's just, you know, monuments that they never told you stories about. And you play with the cube as a kid, and then you get slapped on the hand because you're too close to breaking the little dish, and you've eaten too many candies because you're fat. And like, you know, dude, old ladies are scary. I'm just saying. These are all hypotheticals.
Yeah, it definitely never happened before.
It's all hypotheticals. Yeah, and you know, you're never allowed to go into the basement. Like, that's like, why does this little house even have a basement anyway? Like, how did that even happen? But it does, and you always want to know what it is. But every time you open the door, and Meemaw gets all mad at you. Yeah, it's weird. I never knew what was in that basement. I never found out.
Wait, is this basement real or is that hypothetical?
It was totally hypothetical basement. You never find out what's in that basement. Yeah.
Handbags.
Lots of handbags. But anyway, Greta in theaters nationwide. And it's an indie film. It's a slow burn. It's a fun, suspenseful thriller. And I had a lot of fun watching it. I mean, I had to go like watch anime before bed just to clear my brain.
Weeb.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm not. Man. I'm not scared of a lot of things in this world. I don't have a lot of fears. I'm not afraid of the dark. A lot of people view me as like the master of scary because I'm really big in Halloween and all this kind of stuff. And things don't scare me. And I like dark alleys with muggers. Not scared. Not scared of any of that. But super old ladies, man. Stork chocolate reasons. Yeah. Those will pull your feelings out. Yeah, you should be afraid of Joan Crawford. Raymond there. It's anyway, Greta, it's in theaters right now. You can check it out. It's if you want a suspenseful movie, you should check it out. Yeah. Give me that Faux Labs, yeah. I need it on a t-shirt, yeah.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah, you want to hold the wiener?
No.
Yeah. Just squeeze it a little bit. It's nice and soft.
No, why is this happening? This is my horror movie right
It's
here.
nice and soft. You just put it right here.
Okay. All right.
All right. So
You need to learn how to train your dragon dog.
you want to train my dragon dog? This is the dragon dog right here. It's spicy. All right. Anyway, what are you gonna go see a movie this weekend? What are you gonna go see?
Captain Marvel.
You're gonna go see Captain Marvel.
Well, I mean, what choice do you have?
Honestly, there's not a whole lot of options right now.
It's either that or Gully Boy, but I just can't do it, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, man, I got pinned this weekend.
Or Lego Movie.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I might see Lego Movie. I just am not amped about seeing Captain Marvel this weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
I don't want to go to any movie where I have to have Tiffany Haddish screaming at my face through a unicorn for an hour and a half. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Or where you have to have more than one Chris Pratt character in the same movie.
Oh, yeah. Chris Pratt movies. Not good.
So.
Well, anyway, I guess it's about time for us to do the old box office roundup, don't you say?
Yeah, let's find out what made money, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the thing. Let's do those things. All right, so let's go over here. You want me to put it on the big window? How about that? Go boom. Let's start with the number 10 movie in America and work our way up to the not number 10 movie, the number 1 movie in America. We'll do that. Let me bring my window back up here. So starting off with number 10, Happy Death Day to You from Universal, bringing in $2.4 million this week. It did not get a big box office score, unlike the first one, but it didn't do bad because the budget was only $9 million.
I think the slow week really helped it out because it was dropping and sinking fast, and with nothing really coming out for it to.
It kept it in the top. I think it kept it in the top 10.
I wasn't expecting to see that stay there.
But it has brought in $25.2 million at the box office so far. And number 9, What Men Want from Paramount, bringing in $2.7 million up against its budget of $20. 4 weeks has brought it in almost $50 million at the box office. So it's not killing it, but doing its thing. Number 8, opening up at number 8 with not a very strong opening, but Greta, which we just talked about from Focus, bringing in $4.4 million in its opening week. Probably not a big budget on that one, but I don't have those numbers. Number 7, Isn't It Romantic from Warner Brothers, bringing in $4.5 million in its third week in release, dropping pretty hard, even though it has already brought in $40 million at the box office, which is a lot more than I thought it was going to. But hey, again, not many choices out there in the box office world.
I don't see how these Rebel Wilson movies like that just make money.
Her shtick is so repetitive. You know, it's
so is,
hey, I'm fat and I'm ugly and, I'm going to play up to these strengths. No. It's how the movies work. Like, did you see the trailer for the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Yeah, remember?
Like, that's what she said. And
I talked about it with seething hatred.
And I think that, if we're about, like, breaking stereotypes and all of this, why does Rebel Wilson come in and be like, hey, I'm going to do fat and ugly fat woman jokes, and I'm going to put on a tight dress and put my big fat British butt in a guy's face. Whatever. And it doesn't matter. Like American audiences don't know the difference.
What?
And but it's like it's a bad shtick. It's everything that we want to separate ourselves from, but yet we sit here and we laugh at it.
Yeah, it's the same
And-
thing from what's her name? Mike and
Melissa
Molly.
McCarthy.
Yeah,
Melissa
there it is.
McCarthy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just how are we going to break this mold when we continue to sit and laugh at it? And anyway, all right. Well, number 6, Green Book from Universal, bringing in $4.5 million up against its budget of 16 weeks, of course, getting a big boost thanks to the Academy Awards, opening up in another 1,300 theaters this week, bringing in a total of $75 million at the box office. So
Yeah, it's crazy that it in particular has stayed up there with its return to theaters.
no, I know. Well, I mean the return to theaters will definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely do that. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got Fighting with My Family coming in at number 5 from MGM, bringing in $4.6 million in its third week in release. Total domestic gross of $14.9 million at the box office, which you reviewed last week. So if you want to check out that old show, you can do so over on our YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, and we'll talk more about that later. Number 4, what do we got? The Lego Movie Part 2, the second part from Warner Brothers, bringing in $6.6 million in its fourth week in release. $91 million at the box office so far, so doing pretty well over there. Number 3, Alita: Battle Angel from Fox, bringing in $7.2 million in its third week in release. Did I tell you that I saw that? Did we talk about that?
I talked about it because I went to watch it.
I saw it too. I saw it the other day.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't impressed. In fact, the first half of it, I was ready to walk out of the theater. I thought it was
Really?
I thought it was that bad.
See, I thought, well, Christoph Waltz is really the only part of that
No, he
movie
was-
worth watching.
Dude, Christoph Waltz and Jennifer Connelly. I mean,
Yeah, but her part was so
no,
small.
that's the thing that upset me about this movie is it was surrounded by all of these amazing talents, and then they
who had characters that had a lot of depth to them that they
ignored
never
completely.
went into.
It's like, let's focus on giant, CGI eyes and little Rico Suave.
But they're like, oh,
And-
check out this character who has this mysterious and crazy, super deep background that would make this amazing side story. And like, oh, also
Nah.
that they're dead now.
Nah. No, that movie made me so frustratingly angry at this world that they built, and then they squandered it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just furious. Even the character,
They
what was it?
focus too much on like the
Like Zoran,
the hunter guy with the sword.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like, look at this dude. He's cool because he's all CG with
Yeah.
the CG goatee and all this terrible.
oh man, and the
Yeah.
big mecha dude, little tank man
Yeah.
that looked like something out of what was that old the big money, big prizes. I love it. What was it? Total Carnage or no Smash TV? He looked like a freaking character from the video game Smash TV.
Yeah, he
Um,
didn't look much like he did in the anime.
No, it was just ridiculous. It's just stuff that I don't want to see in real life. But anyway, it brought in $7.2 million up against a $170 million budget, not doing very well. 3 weekends out, it's only brought it in $72 million. It's got $100 million left to go before it even breaks even domestically, and it's about to get shut down when Captain Marvel comes out. So nobody's going to be seeing this movie. So number 2, amazingly enough, coming in at number 2, Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral from Lionsgate, bringing in $27 million in its opening weekend.
Who are you people that watch that?
Yeah, who are you people? And why?
Maybe someone's just really invested in the whole Medea storyline. They need to see just all the installments to see how it plays out.
I don't know. I don't know. And I wish I didn't need to know. But who are these people? We need to know these people. Number 1, How to Train Your Dragon. The Hidden World from Universal. We just talked about it. $30 million in its second week in release. Still doing pretty well. That's a pretty strong second weekend, considering its budget was $129 and it has brought in $97 million at the box office so far. So doing very, very, very well for itself.
In 2 weeks, it's already above the Lego movie.
Yeah, that was unexpected, I think, from
Wow.
the producers of the Lego movie, because
Oh,
the
for
Lego
sure.
movie was such an amazing smash hit that everybody just anticipated that to be the big ding-a-ling of everything. So let's see, catch up on that chat there. So anyway, yeah, that was your top 10. That was your top 10 movies. And guess what? All the money is going to go to Captain Marvel next week and the week after that, and maybe even the week after that. So
That's why if you're playing the game with Dina, what is it? The
Fantasy Movie League.
Yeah, the Fantasy Movie League that we all used to play
Until she made it not fun.
until she just conquered us every week.
Yeah.
That's why your Captain Marvel is going to be if you
It's
get
going to
it,
be like
it'll
$300.
be your only movie that you
Yeah.
get to pick. Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, that's our show. We got work that we got to do. It's after 9:00. We've hit our hour and a half mark, so we're gonna wrap this show up. But again, find us out there on your social medias for real. Like, subscribe, smash it, share it. We're over there at YouTube at youtube.com/The Driving Speakerbox. We got that Facebook down there. If you look down there, we got that Periscope down there. If you down there. And then Twitter, which we never actually get on, but if you want to follow us because you want to feel like you're following something important, you can do that too. But we're also on Instagram. Look for us on. I'll add you to the Instagram, and you can Insta with us. And so slide into those DMs, slide it in.
Why?
The DMs.
You're not allowed to have this thing
What?
anymore.
This is the thing. It's just, I don't know. It's like the ring of Sauron just pollutes my brain every time I squeeze on it.
Ask me about my wiener.
Yeah. So anyway, and on Fantasy Movie League, like Dina said, they split up the days on those big movies, so you can get a Friday day, a Saturday, and a Sunday day, because it's just gonna be wacky ass crazy money, all the money. Because they're winning, they're doing it, Peter. The evil plan has come to fruition. So anytime they go a Marvel movie and then they slap it on there and they put it in the theater, you're gonna go. And this time it's a powerful girl. It's the DC Wonder Woman is what they're making right now. You guys it's the Marvel's DC Wonder Woman. Like they did Wonder Woman. They did it first. They did the big, strong comic book woman, and then they made tons of money, and then everybody was like, good job for resurrecting a character that's super old, and but it's a girl, and so now Marvel's like, we want that girl money, and we want our back padded, and so for doing something that's historic, it's like, no, dummies, they're making money. That's what they're doing, and they have found a way, because this movie, again, like Wonder Woman, like a little bit like Black Panther and Hurt Locker and movies like that they poise to be, I would say, immune to criticism. And I feel like that's going to happen with Captain Marvel. It's going to be one of those movies that is immune to criticism because of its positioning online. Does that make sense? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. I can tell you right now, I'm going to hate everything about it. I hate that they're making her the most powerful person in the entire Marvel universe. And I hate that her like Marvel core is what the Nova core was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. All sorts of stuff like that. So I mean,
and to Dina, we as educated film people, we know it's not historic, but you just wait to see everything that comes out on the internet. No, and really, yeah, going to your point, Dina, like, we're not the people that need to have our minds changed about it. It's a lot of these, like, just get online next week, just get on there, and you're going to see article after article after article about all this groundbreakingly, like, no female starred action, female directed, like, oh, we finally done it.
Well, I already saw a post like that. This guy posted how he went to see Black Panther more than one time. The first time to watch the movie, and then the other times to watch the faces of people in the movie. He's like, I don't even like these movies. I just go to them to be a part of that and everything. And
to be a part of a movement.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what's wrong with all these comic movies is that people that don't even like them go to them and then they talk real big on them. Yeah. Like they're
shaking the pillars of heaven, which they're not. But anyway, all right, well, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out. Like and subscribe. You can watch the rest of the show. You can watch old replays. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we've got a lot of people asking us about doing just an audio-only version of the podcast. and we are developing that here at the Faux Labs. So, yeah, so like and subscribe to Tats Live. And does the Faux Labs, do you guys have an Instagram? Do you guys have just a social media? And it's coming. It's coming. We got plans. We got plans. Movement. I'm telling you, big things are coming. So keep it right here. Driving Speakerbox is always on the boom operator.
On the grip.
And we will see you guys next week. Email us, like and subscribe. Facebook is. Bye.